My name is Ashley Rose, and I live full-time in this van. I built it out myself, sold my house, was able to purchase the van used. It only had 5,000 miles on it. I was able to quit my job and focus on this project from the sale of my house, and I also started receiving my veterans benefits from my 12 years of service. It took me about a year and a half to build out during the pandemic. During that time, I lived with my boyfriend, who encouraged me to follow the dreams that I had. He ended up converting a van of his own, faster than me, I might add, and we both ended up moving out together and doing van life. He's currently out traveling for a work trip. And we own a piece of land over at the Oregon coast. It has a gravel pad for us to park our vehicles, and we also have a shed on it that right now is a storage shed, but we are going to turn it into a little camping off-grid cabin. He's been gone for about 2 months now, and that is the longest I have ever been alone. Normally, it's not an issue for me. I am an INFP. I recharge by being alone. And I don't think I've ever been bored in my entire life until now. I just wanted to sit down and share some of my thoughts from being alone for an extended period of time. I think that it's important for us to share our experiences. Otherwise, our wisdom dies with us. When you are alone for extended periods of time, it is absolutely inevitable that you will start processing a lot of things in your life, in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions. Even things that you thought that you've healed. You are at a different space in time, and you come around to it from a different vantage point. And being alone puts that front and center. So a lot of people, when they don't want to deal with something, they don't want to think about it, they just distract themselves. You can distract yourself with work. You can distract yourself with family. You can distract yourself with sex and having a lot of different relationships. You can immerse yourself in other people and not have to look at your own problems, your own issues, your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own hurt. Going off on your own, even if it's just for a weekend, and see what comes up. I enjoy hiking because it's a form of exercise. It's not overly exerting, but it's also not just a light walk, and you're out in some of the most beautiful places, out in the wilderness, in tune with nature, breathing, and you recognize that certain thoughts, past experiences, things keep looping around. And then you'll go and you'll think about something else. But certain things keep coming back up. And those are the things that are at the forefront of your mind. Those are the things that are causing distress. Those are the things that are causing you to be out of ease, disease. Those are the things that deserve your attention to be dealt with first, so that you can come back to a state of a zero-sum point, to a state of peace. Another thing that starts to come up is, what do I believe? Why do I believe it? Does it matter? Does it hinder me? What do I like? Why do I like it? What's important to me? What are my motivations? Why do I do the things I do? Being in the forest and being at the beach, like those are my two greatest loves right now. My decisions to bring myself onto the current path that I'm on really revolved around me valuing freedom. Everything in my life had brought me up to the point of freedom being the most important thing. I was married for a long time. I was in the military for 12 years. And I just needed to be free to do what I wanted to do. And this leads me to the last lesson of balance. The things you need to do to live are obviously forefront there. But also, you need to have time for rest. It needs to be a priority. And having time for play is also a priority. Static and noise that comes from having an oversaturated life, of being too busy, it blocks out that radio signal of your own spirit. And you can hide yourself down beneath the busyness, beneath other people, other relationships, just other things. You start to heap them on top of your spirit, and you can't hear that call anymore. Being alone, being in nature, it starts to bring that spirit signal back up. It makes it so you can hear it. It almost demands that you hear it. When you take the time to understand who you are, to heal, to become more whole, you actually show respect to your relationships, because you can show up with more presence and more love. How dull would life be if we didn't have others in it? Nurture yourself so you can in turn nurture others, because they really are the essence of a good life. Thank you.